Because I've had so many listings, it was interesting to me though hearing how don't be like everyone else, and we know how so many people are structured in the way that they go. I love this line of saying to the client, everyone makes promises, let me show you what I actually did. Of course, for me, that'll be hard right now, but what they were talking about is instead of showing what you're about to do a reverse and saying, here's a home I recently sold and here's the way we did it. One in particular I thought made sense. Instead of us always saying, we work and will advertise your property on this many websites, they were suggesting take a listing that you've had that you were successful with and print out the sheet on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on all of the different sites, so you actually have that stack. They said even take it and laminate it so you use that same one. Because for us, we know to say it's syndicated, but we need to prove the syndication to the client. And if you just take the same property but show it on all a stack of 40 or 50 different properties, I thought that made a lot of sense. So
good idea.
Gift cards, you know how you always say $50 gift card if you come to the house? Guess what? Wouldn't you love to order like $10, $25 gift cards with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services gift card so that the other agents have to present a card from their home? I think it's a wonderful idea. Only I think we ought to try to see if they'll put our picture on them.
They will, Elizabeth. They will.
Priscilla said they will put your picture on.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
And your cell phone? I just think it'd be hysterical.
It's like a Visa card, you guys. It's amazing.
Cashing their Berkshire Hathaway.
The survey or the testing that was sent out prior to going to Dallas was really very valuable. It's How to Fascinate, and it's Sally Hogshead, and she is actually local to our area. And she started out as an advertising guru, writing marketing campaigns and things like that, and has expanded now into a world-class speaker. But the point is if you didn't go online and go through this testing process, it's a series of questions. It won't take you very long to do it. And it's absolutely amazing what you'll learn about yourself, because unlike some of the Myers-Briggs and things like that give your outlook on the world, this gives you feedback on how the world looks at you, right, and how you can capitalize on the assets that you already have. And it's continued coaching once you take it. So you get emails from her about once a week, and she gives you other things that you can look into. She's offering her book for free right now that's just going to publication, and it's just additional coaching on how to market to your strengths and how to use those to capture new listings or put that hard sale together.
That's exactly right. It's how to market to your strengths and how to differentiate yourself by using your strengths, as opposed to doing the standard bio. I've been in real estate for X number of years. I have this many a sale. Really, I've done all of them. I've done the Myers-Briggs, all the type indicators, and this was probably the most insightful in my opinion.
Yeah, it has me rewriting my bio. It has me rewriting a lot of things on my website. And she gives you the words to use. Yeah. And so you're not having to reinvent that process. It's all there. So if you didn't take it, we can send you the link, and I strongly suggest that you go through it.
Available.
Is it still? It was only 48 hours. Is it still available?
No, I think she extended it through April.
So we'll resend the link, and this is going to be probably a full sales meeting in and of itself.
In addition to all the wonderful speakers, and this year, and they try to do different speakers every year, so that's not going to be the same ones necessarily next year, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. We had a lot of the top gurus were all there. As Tanya said, Tom Ferry was there, Brian Buffini was there, Jared James was there, Travis Robertson was there. Those are all big top... Buffini, yeah. But those are all big top national coaches who have big systems and big everything, but they have great information. They just, as Tanya was saying, help you think otherwise. So this is from Jared James, and you can look him up at jaredjamestoday.com. He has great free resources and everything, but this was his idea for a different kind of prospecting situation. What is the time when a seller is most likely to think about selling their house? When their neighbor's house goes up for sale. But how do you get to that person? How do you, sort of start them to thinking in a more directed fashion? Because he was talking about directly targeting as best you can who you're prospecting to, not being shotguns in the dark with just, mail just going out to wherever, with a general kind of a message. So this is all about basically saying to the neighbors, and if there's a neighborhood that you want to farm or whatever, using that, sending it and trying to establish some sort of a relationship so that you can offer to them, wouldn't you like to know what your house is worth? That's the first part of the conversation. And that's a great way. Everybody has that curiosity, regardless. You don't always obviously get the listing, but I thought that was just another way to do some direct mail, different kind of targeting though, being more specific with it and with a letter. So if this works and you get this, you get something back from them or whatever, obviously you get to do follow-up and all of that. The one other thing I would say that you could use certainly along with this, the other value at convention is the vendors and the exhibits. You get to see everything. You can go talk to everybody and all of the people. Yes, they are all trying to sell their system, but you can see it working on the ground and get a sense about it and talk to the people. One of the greatest new ones that's out there, and we've been, probably some of you have heard the name, BombBomb, which is also it's a video email system. It's different than Videolicious because Videolicious only uploads to our Marketing Resource Center. BombBomb is a video email system that you can use for everything. I mean, some of the great examples were like, use it with your sphere, like to wish them a happy birthday. Instead of just posting on Facebook, happy birthday, so-and-so, send them a video email saying, happy birthday. What a unique thing that is. Or following up with your prospects, your open house prospects. If you get them, as long as you get their email address, you'll be able to contact them by way of this video. And all you do is, it's, just like you would do in front of your computer where you have your camera, that's how you do it. And it goes email and it's gone. They provide analytics. It works they've got a whole setup about how many different platforms, email platforms it works with, and it's just about everybody, truthfully. But you can do a 14-day free trial and see what you think. There's so many possibilities with that to give yourself an added dimension, makes it more personal. It makes you more personal to people.
Jared James section as well, and something that kind of just hit me in the face while I was there was where it seems a lot of the theme is organization and infrastructure, and he said, I wrote down the statistics, 78% of people work with the first realtor they ever meet, but you are your own worst enemy because you never follow up with them. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. And he said the title was Get Out of Your Own Way, and some of the takeaways from this session was, when you're casting all these lines into the sea, when you're calling people, you're doing social media, what's the next step? You're doing a great job at throwing out that line, but what are you doing to follow up? And we lose so much business by not working the lead to death. He said he was so successful he worked every piece of business to the ground. He never let someone get away from him. So I think he said, pump the brakes. Sometimes you got to get back to your basics and think deep and think, how can I fine tune? How can I be simple? I need the infrastructure to make me successful. So it was really eye opening and just basic though. So it was again Jared James. So this was all about the template he put into, and free resources, free webinars. If you look him up, follow him on Facebook, on Instagram. He's got a ton of free stuff. He's
Snapchat.
Really into social media as well.
Snapchat.
He says, is going to replace, he said, give it 6 months. It will replace Facebook in terms of digital marketing.
I attended a class called The New Digital Landscape for Marketing Luxury Properties, and it was presented by Rick Goodwin. And there were a lot of fabulous takeaways, but I'm going to share with you some of them that I kept from the slides. One of the quotes that I thought really lit a fire under me when I came back from convention was, we cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. We cannot become what we need to be by remaining what we are. And you get stuck in that rut. It's working, but you sometimes forget. And so they were talking about affluence. This is a great statistic. Affluence, the definition is household income of $100,000 plus, average household income $200,200, average net worth $1.6 million, Average value of primary home, 408, and this is the age breakout. 39% are boomers. That's ages 49 to 67. 34% are Gen Yers. 20% are millennials. And 7% are seniors, ages 68 and above. So that was really a great little takeaway to find out really who are the affluents, because our area, we are an affluent market, and that's who we're reaching. So, to think about as wealth rises, so does technology. And we need to be more efficient with our time because they are much more efficient with their time. Their internet use, they are online an average of 41.6 hours a week.
Wow.
Those making up to $500,000 plus annually use the internet 55.8 hours a week. Affluent millennials are online 52.7 hours weekly. I mean, these are just great statistics. And where do buyers see their first homes? On the internet. He said realtors have gone from being a gatekeeper of information to a curator of information. And so the home search on the internet, 42% of home buyers are looking on the internet, 92% of buyers use the internet in their home search process, and 66% of buyers found their home using a mobile device. So those are pretty impressive numbers. Just a couple more takeaways that I thought would be really good. Something I have never done that I am going to start this week is marketing your yard sign that you sold it. Duh. People go by, they see our signs all the time. They don't know necessarily that we sold it or that you sold it, because it's got 30, 45 days to close. Let them know how fast we're doing stuff. The average wealthy individual reads 6 different magazines. Expand your personal brand throughout print. Marketing is storytelling. You have to constantly reinvent yourself, because when the competition learns what you do that is successful, they will be begging to implement the same thing. So he had some great ideas of helping. Professional photography, as you all know, I use house lens exclusively. And I've had a little hiccup recently with them, and I've got to tell you, they went to the wall for me to fix it and make it right. So that professional marketing is huge, because that's the first impression, and you only get one chance to really make that great first impression. So invest in videos and pictures, and it supported the things that have been working for me to continue to do them. But it's little things like this that you get from convention that light that fire.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Priscilla. Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay, so I'm going back to my teaching days.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I'm very excited. How many of you use social media to market? Keep your hand up. Raise it high, be proud. Okay. Put your hand down if you do not use Facebook. So, leave your hand up if you use Facebook. Leave your hand up if you, put your hand down if leave your hand up if you use Twitter. Leave your hand up if you use Instagram. Okay, so 900 million unique hits on Facebook a month. So for those people who keep hearing people say Facebook is kind of a thing of the past, it's not a thing of the past, because the next one in line is, guess, Twitter. Twitter gets 310 million unique hits. So if you do not have a Twitter call sign, make one, make it professional, just like you would on Facebook. Use it, 140 characters, makes it quick, people pick it up fast, and there's constant feed on your stuff. What do you think the third one is?
Instagram.
No, I tricked you.
LinkedIn.
So LinkedIn gets 225 million. So if you have a Facebook account, a Twitter account, and a LinkedIn account, you can get this many unique visits if everybody in the world was visiting you. But the bottom line is, do a combination. Some people do Hootsuite. When you hit the send button, it goes to all 3. If you need to know how to set that up, I'm happy to help you. But the bottom line is social media, you need to be using it. It is replacing newspapers, it's replacing news outlets, it's definitely replacing the nightly news. So if you're not using it, go ahead and get your account set up. Facebook, you want to make sure you have to set up a personal account in order to set up a Facebook page. So if you've been trying to figure out how to do that, but you don't have a personal account, you need to do that first. But I thought that was pretty impactful. And lastly, the key is how many of you are doing it strategically and consistently? That's the key. So strategic means who are you marketing to? Consistently. It doesn't have to be daily. It doesn't have to be minute to minute. If you send out one post a week and it's your weekly update and people start looking for that, that's consistency. So there's my spiel.
Great job.